Do you want to maximize your gaming performance on Windows 11? Continue watching this video. Let's get right into it. The first thing you need to do is to make sure you have a restore point. Just open the start menu with the Windows button and type restore and create a restore point, just in case. This will allow us to make sure that nothing happens to the computer and it's always backed up and safe. So let's click here on the main disk, -C, and let's go click here on create. After doing this, you have to name it. What I recommend you do is to note down the date, and mine is the 28th of January 2025. So let's do that, 28/01 and then 2025. And then this is the restore point, so let's do that. Just let it run, and after it's finished, we can click here on close because it has successfully completed. And now, let's click here on configure, but first select the disk. Make sure you select your Windows disk, and it's probably your C drive. So let's click here on configure. After doing this, make sure that at least 4 to 5% is allocated here, depending on how big your drive is. If your drive is very big, that means you can allocate way less percentage because you can see the storage here. I do recommend you at least get around 1%. I mean, 1% is the lowest one. If you have a very big drive, just like me, I recommend you allocate at least above 20 gigabytes. You can see that right here. After doing this, click here on apply. And then, of course, my older restore points are going to be deleted because I downsized mine. But that's completely fine because those restore points are very old. We only want the recent ones. So let's click here on yes. What a restore point does is allowing you to go back in time where your computer was still working. Nothing is going to happen in this video, I promise. But we are going to increase the performance of your computer without damaging anything. Step 2 is disabling memory integrity. So let's click here on the start menu again and then type settings. After doing this, you should see this window right here. It can be a little bit different, but make sure you find the search window. After doing this, make sure you type memory integrity, and there's a possibility to see core isolation. This is for the fire protection, and it has nothing to do with fire protection, but it prevents attacks from inserting malicious code into high security processors. If you disable this, you will get a lot more performance because it can lower the workload on the CPU. If you're a little bit cautious about your downloads, make sure you turn it on because the most security is always the best. By the way, make sure you subscribe to our channel because we are working very hard to make our videos way better. The third step we're going to do also has to do with fire protection. Make sure you search it up again at the start menu. Do know that this one only works for Windows 10 users, so go back to your virus and threat protection, scroll down and find periodic scanning. After disabling this, it will prevent stuttering because of random scans during gameplay. If you turn this off, this setting right here, periodic scanning, it should improve the workload of your PC while gaming. I just figured out it wasn't for Windows 11, I'm sorry. But hey, we do both, Windows 10 and 11. Just let me know down in the comments if this setting isn't the Windows 10, because I'm showing it on 11 right now. The fourth one we can do, and this is probably one of my favorites, is visual effects. We can actually disable this. Make sure you type it in the start menu. Here you go, visual effects. And after doing this, just disable it because what it does is animations. So here, if I close my window, nothing happens because it's instant. If I enable it again, you will see an animation. There you go. And I know it's not about performance, but it's about speed. We want faster computer. Let's just disable that and it's less workload that way. What we can also do is type advanced system settings. And after doing this, you should be able to see this window right here. And what we can do is performance. After clicking on this, you can see everything about animations on your computer and how it looks. What I do recommend you do is to try out yourself which one works good and which one bad, because if I disable everything right here for best performance, you can see that a lot of things look a lot more ugly. For example, this window right here is not shown while moving it. But what you can do is, for example, click here on animate controls and animate inside the windows. But for the window dragging, we have to enable this one. So if you enable this, you can see the window while dragging it, and the rest of your computer is very fast. Do note that you have to pick this out yourself, what you like, because some things aren't that smooth anymore for example, text. Here you can see smooth edges of screen fonts, so you can see it change right here. It looks a lot better. So make sure you check these ones out and personalize it by yourself, but it can increase your speed of your computer and a little bit the performance. By the way, make sure you check out our merch at thephonus.nl/shop, and here you can even design your own thing. You can change anything about the designs we make. And one I really like is this one right here. I really want to get this hat because I think it looks very cool. Let's move on to step 5, and this isn't really about performance, but it's about how your display functions. So let's click here, right click on the desktop itself, and after doing this, go to display settings. Right here, I have two screens, one on my left and one here. And this one is my laptop screen, which has a 144 Hz display. Make sure it's enabled. So let's scroll down here by selecting the display first. That's this one. You can identify it and see which one it is. So let's scroll down, and after doing this, you can see, for example, the scaling. How higher the scaling is, how more performance it's going to take. So if you have very good eyes or your display is really very big, I do recommend that you put this one on 100% or something like that. Recommended is fine because you can read it. Otherwise it's very small. Let's move on here to advanced display, because here you can enable your refresh rate. Make sure you enable this, because otherwise your gaming monitor is not going to display the hertz you bought it for. And you can also select the new display right here if you have that. I don't have a high refresh rate monitor on my left side, but it is able to be changed here. Don't change it to lower than 60, just put it on the highest max. And if it's flickering, just put it down because maybe it's not supported. For example, TV is 30 hertz normally and not 60. Step 6 is enabling hardware accelerated GPU scheduling. So what we need to do is open settings again. Open start menu and type settings. Well, a even faster shortcut, you just have to go to display. Let's just go right click and go to display settings. After doing this, you should be able to find the option graphics. We have default graphic settings right here. Make sure you click on it. And after doing this, you can see the option hardware accelerated GPU scheduling. Make sure you enable this. It can reduce latency, improve performance, but you have to restart your computer to make effect. And of course, enable optimizations for windowed games. Reduce latency and use advanced features in compatible games by using flip presentation model. And you have to restart your computer. Very simple, just enable these two. Make sure you like this video if you have been enjoying it so far, and comment down below what you think about the advice we give on this channel. Now, step 7 is going to be about audio and mouse tweaks. Let's go and open the settings menu, and another good tip is Windows icon and then I. And after doing this, settings is also going to open. Very useful keybind. Let's go to system and then sound. If you scroll down right here, you can find more sound settings. Right here, you can see the playback, and right here, you can see the recording. Playback is the audio you hear, the output, and recording is the input, that, for example, a microphone. So let's click here on playback and make sure you find the device which it has this icon, which is probably the place where your audio outputs. So let's double click on this one. After doing this, just go to advanced, because we want to make sure it has the highest format of audio. If you have a very expensive headset or something, you sometimes need to change this because it can output a lot higher quality audio, and Windows has set it to the wrong setting. So let's click here and make sure you select the highest one you see. So mine is 84,000 Hertz and 24-bit and studio quality, which is of course not true, but still, just put it on the highest one, and then your output should be way better. Oh yeah, another important one, go to spatial sound, make sure to turn it off, because otherwise your audio is very spatial and very weird, and just turn it off, it sounds bad. So let's go to the next one, which is right here, Bluetooth and devices, because we have to scroll down and find mouse. What we need to do now is scroll down and go to additional mouse settings. Let's go here to pointer options, and after doing this, disable enhanced pointer precision. This is mouse acceleration it does look smoother, but it's very bad for gaming and you don't want to do that. I do recommend you turn it off. Right here, you can of course also adjust the speed of your mouse if you don't have any settings for it. But for example, I have a Logitech mouse. This means that I have Logitech software, which is going to improve my mouse way more, just like my microphone. So do go to your company's website, the one who made this, because you can find software to improve the settings of your device. Step 8 is about gaming mode and background apps. So go to settings again, make sure you type it here in the start menu or use the keybind Windows key plus I. After going to settings, make sure you go to gaming. Here you can find game mode. You want to enable this because you can optimize your PC for play by turning off things in the background. Just turn it on, it's way better for performance. The last one is step 9, and that's the last one. So let's get right into it. It's network optimization. The first thing you need to do is to go back to settings again. So let's go. Let's go to here to network and internet. And then select Wi-Fi or Ethernet depending on what you have connected to your computer right now. I don't have Ethernet connected because I have a laptop. Let's click here on Wi-Fi or Ethernet, doesn't matter, because you will see the same settings, but it's a little bit different because you have to click one more to your own internet here instead of the Ethernet where you instantly say these settings. Here you can see IP assignment and DNS server assignment. And server, the DNS is the one we're going to change. I think most people have Ethernet, so let's go to Ethernet and change the setting. In Wi-Fi, just go to Wi-Fi and then choose your own Wi-Fi itself. And you can find DNS assignment right here. So at Ethernet, make sure you go to server assignment from your DNS. And at DNS stands for domain name system. And this will allow you to connect faster to some servers. For example, Google has one of the biggest ones and they can connect very fast to that website, which makes websites load faster. It's not because your computer is faster, it's just a more smart connection. So what you need to do right here is to make sure you put it on manual. And then click here on IPv4 version 4. So let's go here to preferred DNS and alternate DNS. Make sure you type here 8.8.8.8 and below you type 8.8.4.4. This is the DNS from Google. I think it is very good, but there are also alternatives. If you save right here, you should be finished and it is connected. But let's change it here to, for example, Cloudflare's DNS, which is 1.1.1.1, 1.0.0.1, and this is also a very fast DNS. I even found a even faster, or I don't know, better at DNS. I mean, probably Google's the fastest, but this one will block ads and trackers, which I think is pretty good. It doesn't really block YouTube and all, but it does block some stupid pop-up ads. So you can copy this right here. Make sure you do that right now. These ones right here. I'm also going to do it, so I'm just gonna copy it right here. Go to my settings and put it on preferred. The second one is right here, and I'm gonna copy it again, and I put it as my second one. So here I can click on save, and now it will allow me to block some ads and trackers on some websites, which is very annoying. It doesn't block YouTube ads. I'm not even allowed to show that because. But I want to thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the Bonus How To, because we can make better tech tips in the best ways possible. That is really just our goal. And like down below if you enjoyed this guide. I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.